What if I told you that there are countries in the world where becoming a citizen does not always require years of waiting, endless paperwork, or the uncertainty of traditional immigration systems that most people struggle with for decades? What if, instead, there are structured and legal pathways, quietly operating in the background, that allow individuals to obtain citizenship in a completely different way, one that most people either misunderstand or never even hear about until they've already committed to much longer and more difficult routes? Because here's where things become even more interesting. These programs are not hidden, but they are also not widely discussed in everyday conversations, and they are rarely explained in a way that gives a complete and realistic picture. Most people continue to follow traditional paths, student visas, work permits, permanent residency, without ever realizing that an alternative system exists, one that operates under a completely different set of expectations and requirements. And that raises a powerful question. If these opportunities are real, legal, and actively used, why do they still feel like something no one talks about? Before we go further, it's important to understand what we actually mean when we say, buying citizenship, because the phrase itself can be misleading if not explained properly. What we are discussing are official government programs, commonly known as citizenship by investment, which are designed to attract foreign investment into a country's economy in exchange for clearly defined legal benefits. These programs are not shortcuts in the casual sense, and they are not accessible to everyone. They involve significant financial commitments, strict background checks, detailed documentation, and a level of due diligence that ensures only qualified applicants are approved. In many cases, these programs are even more regulated than traditional immigration systems, because governments are not only evaluating the investment, but also the credibility and background of the applicant. Understanding this distinction is essential, because it separates assumptions from reality. St. Kitts and Nevis, the pioneer behind the model street. Kitts and Nevis is widely recognized as one of the first countries to introduce a structured citizenship by investment program, setting the foundation for many others that followed. Over the years, it has built a reputation for maintaining a balance between accessibility and strict oversight, ensuring that while opportunities exist, they are carefully controlled. Applicants are required to make qualifying financial contributions and pass detailed background checks, reflecting a system that prioritizes both economic benefit and regulatory integrity. Dominica. Simplicity with structure. Dominica has become known as one of the more approachable options within this space, attracting individuals who are exploring alternative pathways to global mobility. However, beneath this accessibility lies a structured system that requires compliance with financial commitments, documentation, and verification processes designed to maintain credibility and transparency. At this stage, you might be realizing something important. These programs are not random or unregulated. They follow patterns, rules, and strict frameworks. So the real question becomes, what makes some countries more selective than others? Malta. High standards, high expectations. Malta represents one of the more selective and highly regulated options, with strict due diligence procedures and detailed application requirements. Applicants must meet high financial thresholds, demonstrate credibility, and complete a multi-stage process that reflects the country's emphasis on quality over quantity. Turkey. Investment linked to opportunity. 1330 to 1530. Turkey's program is closely tied to real estate investment, making it one of the more widely recognized pathways. However, the process involves legal requirements, financial thresholds, and property regulations that must be carefully followed to ensure eligibility. Vanuatu. Speed with structure. Vanuatu is often highlighted for its relatively fast processing timelines, but this efficiency is supported by strict documentation and verification requirements. Applicants must still meet all eligibility criteria, reinforcing the idea that speed does not replace regulation. Grenada. Strategic advantages with conditions. Grenada offers unique benefits that make it stand out among similar programs, attracting individuals who are looking for strategic opportunities. However, these benefits come with structured requirements, including financial contributions and detailed application processes that must be carefully followed. St. Lucia. Growing but regulated St. Lucia has gained attention for its flexible options, but like all programs in this category, it operates within a regulated framework that requires compliance with financial, legal, and documentation standards. This ensures that while opportunities exist, they are managed responsibly. Jordan. Limited and selective pathways. Jordan offers less commonly discussed options that are more selective and tailored to specific types of investment. This makes it less widely known, but still part of the broader landscape of structured citizenship programs. Egypt. Emerging opportunities. Egypt has introduced programs that reflect a growing trend among countries seeking to attract foreign investment through structured pathways. These options are still evolving, but they follow the same core principle: controlled access in exchange for economic contribution. So what is the real hidden truth behind all of this? It's not that countries are simply selling passports in an unregulated or casual way. It's that they are offering carefully designed, legally structured pathways that are built around investment, regulation, and strict eligibility criteria. The reason these programs are not widely discussed is not because they are secret, but because they are specific, complex, and not designed for everyone. Understanding this difference is what transforms confusion into clarity. And now that you understand how these systems actually work, the question becomes even more interesting. If these opportunities exist, but are limited and selective, would you ever consider a pathway like this? Or does it change how you view citizenship entirely? Because in today's world, the biggest advantage is not just knowing that opportunities exist, it's understanding them before everyone else does. If you found this video valuable and it gave you a clearer understanding of how these global systems actually work, take a moment to like this video, because it really helps this content reach more people who are looking for real and practical insights. Also, share this video with anyone who is planning to move abroad or exploring second citizenship options, so they can avoid confusion and make smarter, more informed decisions. And if you want more in-depth content on visas, immigration strategies, and global opportunities, make sure to subscribe to Free Visa Hub and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Because in a world full of information, the real advantage comes from knowing what actually matters, and that's exactly what we focus on here at Free Visa Hub.